When the Divine Master freed me from the external world, then he put his hand into purifying my interior, and through an interior voice he told me, "Now we are alone. There is no one left who may disturb us. Aren't you happier now than before, when you had to content many upon many? You see, it is easier to content one alone. You must consider as if you and I were alone in the world. Promise me to be faithful, and I will pour such and so many graces into you that you yourself will be amazed." Then he continued, telling me, "I have made great designs upon you. As long as you correspond to me, I want to make of you a perfect image of me, beginning from the moment I was born up to my death. I myself will teach you, little at a time, the way you will do it." And it happened in this way. Every morning, after communion, he would tell me what I was supposed to do during the day. I will say everything briefly, because after so much time it is impossible to say everything. I don't remember for sure, but it seems to me that he told me that the first thing which was necessary in order to purify the interior of my heart was the annihilation of myself, that is, humility. And he continued telling me, "See, so that I may pour my graces into your heart, I really want to make you understand that by yourself you can do nothing. I am very much wary of those souls who attribute what they do to themselves, wanting to make of my graces as many thefts. On the other hand, with those who know themselves, I am generous in pouring my graces in torrents, knowing very well that they can attribute nothing to themselves. They are grateful to me. They hold it in that esteem which befits it, and they live with the continuous fear that if they do not correspond to me, I may take away from them that which I gave, knowing that it is not something of their own. All the opposite in the hearts which reek of pride. I cannot even enter into their hearts because they are so swollen with themselves that there is no space in which to put myself. The miserable ones take my graces into no account, and they go from fall to fall, up to their ruin. Therefore, on this day, I want you to make continuous acts of humility. I want you to be like a baby wrapped in swaddling clothes, who can move neither a foot to take a step nor a hand to work, but expects everything from his mother. In this same way, you will stay close to me like a baby, always praying me to assist you, to help you, always confessing to me your nothingness. In sum, expect everything from me. I tried to do as much as I could to content him. I would make myself smaller. I would annihilate myself. And sometimes I reached the point of feeling my being as almost undone, in such a way that I could not work, nor take one step, or even one breath, if he did not sustain me. Also, I saw myself as so bad that I was ashamed of being seen by people, knowing myself as the ugliest, as in reality I am still. So as much as I could shun people, I shunned them, saying to myself, "Oh, if they knew how bad I am, if they could see the graces that the Lord is giving me, for I wouldn't tell them anything to anyone. And I am always with the same. Oh, how horrified they would be with me." Then in the morning, when I would go again to communion, it seemed that in coming into me, he made feast for the contentment he felt in seeing me so annihilated. He would tell me other things about the annihilation of myself, but in ways which were always different from the previous time. I believe that he spoke to me not once, but hundreds of times. And if he had spoken to me thousands of times, he would have always new ways to speak about the same virtue. Oh, my Divine Master, how wise you are! Had I at least corresponded to you. I remember that one morning, while he spoke to me about the same virtue, he told me that because of lack of humility, I had committed many sins, and that if I had been more humble, I would have come closer to him, and I would not have done so much evil. He made me understand how ugly sin is, the affront that this miserable little worm had made to Jesus Christ, the horrendous ingratitude, the enormous wickedness, the harm that had come to my soul. I was so dismayed that I did not know what to do in order to repair. I did some mortifications. I asked for more from the confessor, but few were given to me, so that they all seemed shadows to me, and I did nothing but think about my sins, though clinging more and more to him. I had such fear of moving away and of doing worse than before, that I myself cannot express it. When I was with him, I did nothing but tell him of the pain I felt for having offended him. I kept asking for his forgiveness. I thanked him for having been so good to me, and I said to him from the heart, "See, O Lord, the time I have lost while I could love you." So I was unable to say anything but the grave evil I had done. Finally, one day, reprimanding me, he told me, "I do not want you to think about it. When a soul has humbled herself, convinced of having done wrong, and has cleansed her soul in the sacrament of confession, and is ready to die rather than offend me, it is an affront to my mercy. It is a hindrance to drawing her close to my love, because her mind is always trying to roil in the past mud. She also prevents me from letting her take flights toward heaven, because she is always with those ideas wrapped within herself. If she tries to think about it and then see, I no longer remember anything. I have perfectly forgotten about it. Do you see any rancor or shadow on my part?" And I said to him, "No, Lord, you are so good." But I felt my heart split with tenderness. "Well then, are you the one who wants to carry these things on?" And I, no, I don't want to. And he, "Let us think about loving and contenting each other." From that time on, I did not think about it so much. I did as much as I could in order to content him, and I prayed that he himself would teach me what I should do in order to prepare for the time past. And he said to me, "I am ready to do what you want. See, the first thing that I told you I wanted from you was the imitation of my life. So let us see what you lack." "Lord," I said to him, "I lack everything. I have nothing." "Well then," he said to me, "do not fear. Little by little we will do everything. I myself know how weak you are, but it is from me that you must draw strength. I don't remember in sequence, but I will say what I can." And he added, "I want you to be always upright in your operating. With one eye look at me, and with the other eye look at what you are doing. I want creatures to disappear from you completely. If you receive a command, do not look at the people. No, but you must think that I myself want you to do what you are being commanded. So with your eye fixed on me, you will not judge anyone. You will not look at whether the thing is painful or enjoyable, whether you can do it or not. Closing your eyes to all this, you will open them to look at me alone, and you will take me together with you, thinking that my gaze is fixed on you. And you will say to me, 'Lord, for you alone I do this. For you alone I want to work, no longer a slave of the creatures.' So if you walk, if you work, if you speak, in anything you do, your only aim must be that of pleasing me alone. Oh, how many defects you will avoid if you do this." Other times he would say to me, "I also want that if people mortify you, insult you, contradict you, you keep your gaze fixed in me, thinking that from my own lips I am saying to you, 'Daughter, I myself am the one who wants you to suffer this, not the creatures.' Remove your gaze from them, but you and I always, all others you must destroy. See, I want to render you beautiful by means of these sufferings. I want to enrich you with the merits. You work your soul, render you similar to me. You will give it to me as a gift. You will thank me affectionately, and you will be grateful to those people who give you the occasion to suffer, repaying them with some benefit. By doing this, you will walk as upright before me. Nothing will ever again give you restlessness, and you will always enjoy peace.